Hi everyone! A lot of people have requested tutorials, so I'm finally doing one. This one's going to be on how I do digital portraits. But if you have any like specific requests, like on eyes or hair, or pencil ones, or any questions, then feel free to leave them below and I'll try and answer questions, or I'll do more tutorials. It's probably only going to be like basics of what I do, so I'll just talk over what I'm doing as I do it. So first thing is like, I get like a basic colour palette, which is the same one I use for most drawings, to be honest. And I try to get like the darkest colour, not too dark, because otherwise it looks too harsh, in my opinion, on mine. But I don't just like limit myself to those ones. Like, change it up as you go along. See where it takes you. Yeah. These 4 brushes are the ones that I use for every drawing. Sometimes I'll use like a few different ones as well, but these are like the basic ones. I think I only use these 4 for this one. I won't go through each of them separately because it will probably take a while, but I like them all because they're all textured. I'll write the names of them below and links if I can find them. Something I will just point out is that this isn't a tutorial on drawing out the face. I've traced this like for the purpose of this to save time, and also sometimes I do trace because it saves time and also saves me being frustrated. Like sometimes you get up and you want to paint, but like your hand won't cooperate and you can't draw out the outline. So I don't think tracing's an awful thing. If it helps you like improve your painting or your shading or your colouring, and you're practicing freehand as well, it's fine. The outline doesn't make it a finished drawing anyway. It's like the shading and the colouring is what like shows your skill and is what makes it what it is. So the first thing I do is get like a purpley blue, and I put that on as like the base layer so that I can layer other colours on top of it. I think the reason why I layer colours like this is because it looks softer, and also you can like play around with the opacity of each layer until like it looks how you want it to look. Then I get like a pink red colour and layer it over the top of the blue on a different layer in a lower opacity so you can still see the purple blue through it. And then I layer the skin tone over the top, also on a lower opacity, so you can still see the other colours through. Here what I'm doing is just adding some like basic shadows and highlights. I'll go back in and like work into them later on, but for now it just helps if I have like a rough idea of where they are. With the eyebrows, I like put down a layer of dark, but not too dark, on like the main eyebrow area, and then use a thinner brush with the darker colour on it to like put in each eyebrow hair. It's quite self-explanatory, I think, but I don't know, thought I'd say it anyway. Then I tend to move on to the eyes, and I have like the darkest colour, the same one that I use for the eyebrows, in this case, and put it like on the eyeball, not the whole eyeball, the iris, and like wherever it's darkest around the eye, like the lash line and stuff. Then I bring the opacity down a little bit and carry on like filling in some basic shadows before I move on to the eyeball colour and all the sort of shading around the eyes. I think the key to getting the eyes looking soft is to use brushes on a lower opacity and just keep building it up, which I think is the same for everything really. the lips I usually start with like a neutral base colour and then put like basic shadows in, and then on a new layer to get the vibrancy I use like a bright pink with one of like the basic Photoshop brushes, like the blurred one. Play around with the layer types until it looks like the colours like meshing with the base colour and the basic shadows. Basically just do it until it looks right. For the hair I take the darker colour that I used, you know, like the darkest colour, and put that all over as a base. I get like a lighter version of that, make the brush smaller, and then put in like the general highlights, not even really highlights, but just where it's not super dark. And then I just got my bright pink and the bluey purple that I use for the lighting and just start putting those in as highlights. I really played around with the layer types here to make it look like the highlights are meshing in with the rest of the hair, and also lowered the opacity quite a lot and just really built it up. For the clothes, I kind of just do the same thing like what I did with the hair. Put down the darkest colours and then add on to it with the lighting colours. And then after a few like little last minute changes, I'm done, and that's it. Okay, I'm sorry if this wasn't helpful. Hopefully it was. Hopefully someone somewhere learned something. If you did, please give it a thumbs up or let me know that it was useful. Feel free to leave questions and requests below and I'll do my best to help. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.